Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, mambo yanazidi kuharibika. There's something I shared in another analysis yesterday night. For those of you who watched that analysis, the fate of Ruku. I had made a prediction thinking that Ruku was ending his political career by accepting that CS position, because he did accept it almost immediately.
I will serve the Republic of Kenya in that office.
And to me, I disagree with him when he says he was not aware. I mean, the whole thing was well planned. Look at Kithure Kindiki going to Mbeere North ati kumsaidia kuweka ile pipe, alafu 30 minutes later a pronouncement is made, wako pamoja, and then Ruku tells us that hakujua, ilikuwa ghafla. To me, I don't think that is true, but he has a right to accept a position like that. So guess what? Senator Manzo seems to be in agreement with my point.
Has destroyed the political life of Ruku. Ruku was a creation of Muturi, and he was actually sponsored by his party. Now, when he becomes a cabinet secretary, I can assure you, Ruku will never be re-elected because Ruto's regime will soon come to an end.
President William Ruto has effectively ended Ruku's political career by appointing him to the executive. He's going to be a cabinet secretary in 2 years. I mean, who is going to serve for 2 years? Because we are actually on the 3rd year. It will be now only 2 years, 2026, 2027 year pressure. Most likely CSS will be resigning or end up contest for some seats. So we are seeing a scenario whereby Ruku is going to serve this year and then next year. But in 2027, he is going to resign so that he can seek an elective seat, because there is no surety that Ruto is going to be re-elected. He can, maybe he will not. So I want us to focus on Manzo. Manzo is arguing something very important. But before you do that, kindly like this video. It's so important, because when you like this video, that is the only way YouTube shares our content. Thank you so much for all of you who've supported this channel by subscribing and liking. Let's focus on Manzo. He's arguing that Ruku's move from elected politics to the cabinet was a strategic miscalculation that could cost him dearly in the future. And according to the senator, he says that once a politician transitions to a cabinet position, their chances of re-elections diminish significantly.
Has destroyed the political life of Ruku. Ruku was a creation of Muturi, come to an end. Ruku will never be re-elected again by the Mbeere people, and Muturi is not a political featherweight. This is a person who has really helped this country. He's been a speaker and 3rd in command for 10 years at record. So if it's true, even if you bring in Ruku, he has no people on ground. He has no voters on ground. Keep him there at the national level for the next 2 years, and you have destroyed his life permanently.
That is Manzo. Are you in agreement with what Manzo is telling us, ladies and gentlemen? Because the statement suggests that Ruto's administration might not survive past 2027, and that will potentially make it difficult for people like Ruku to stage a political comeback. Of course, Ruku someone else might be elected in Mbeere North to serve in the capacity of a member of parliament for the remainder of the term. Or a political strategy can be enacted here, whereby Ruto or whoever person is very strong decides not to have a by-election in Mbeere North, so that area becomes a ground ambayo iko hivyo too without a member of parliament for the remainder of the term, so that nobody comes there to pile opposition on Ruku, who is still the incumbent. So that is a strategy that to make sure that should Ruku feel like he wants to clinch back that seat in 2027, because that's when elections are going to be held. And because according to the law, if you want to seek an elective position, you will be forced to resign. So Ruku back then, Ruku will be forced to resign so that he can contest that position again. Or he can find himself in political oblivion for good. Because honestly speaking, what Dan Manzo is telling us here, I agree with Manzo 100%. He is telling the truth. We've seen people here in Kenya, most of them who go to cabinet, once their term in cabinet or time in cabinet imeisha, getting political seats huwa ni shida. A cabinet secretary going back to a member of parliament position, most of the time huwa ni ngumu sana kupata. I've seen them. In fact, even getting a governor position huwa ni ngumu, because when you are in the government, inakubidi wewe support the government venye the government inataka. You can't differ with the government. If you try to differ with the government, what happens to you is this issue about Justin Muturi being fired. So you'll be forced to okay everything the government is saying and defend the government hata kama ni mbaya. That is what you have seen with some of these members of parliament before the Gen Z's protest. They were okaying everything. In fact, those members of parliament, most of them supported the finance bills. We know about that. Well, Azimio were opposing, they were supporting. So, and Kenyans are not fools anymore. I think Kenyans wameona wale ambao watawapigia na wale ambao watawapigia. Hata wale ambao wanajidai wanapigia serikali vita saizi, some of them hawatapigiwa because they voted for the finance bill. There are many. Some in, I don't want to mention regions, but you know about them. They voted yes for the finance bill 2023-2024. They voted yes for the finance bill 2024-2025. Now wanajiona kwamba wao ndio ni wasafi. No, I don't think Kenyans are fools anymore. They have seen. In fact, what happened during Uhuru, wakati Uhuru alikuwa anapigwa vita, na the same people ambao saizi wanasema kwamba serikali A, serikali B, people are awake. In fact, even Ruku will suffer the same fate because he voted a yes for the finance bill. There is no guarantee about attack. Maybe I'm suspecting the baby ameona kwamba this is the only opportunity nimepata ya kupata nomination ya CS, wacha nichukue, because I never know whether I'll make it in 2027 as a member of parliament because I voted a yes for the finance bill. Ruku is one of those people, Geoffrey Ruku is one of those people who voted a yes to support the finance bill. I think you still remember that history. Yeah, you do. That is what happened, ladies and gentlemen. So, what do you think? Do you think Dan Manzo is telling us something that makes sense? Because looks like Ruku's political career imeenda. Is that the case? I think that is something that is going to happen to Ruku. It is going to happen to him. Re-elected unless ni kama vile Raila na Lang'ata wakati ule ambapo hata ufanye nini, ilikuwa Lang'ata utamchagua tu, unless that is what is happening in Mbeere North. But if that is not the case, then political career ya Ruku imeenda. And Dan Manzo has already said it here, ladies and gentlemen. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, please take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.